Okay guys, we're replacing the brake pads on a 2004 Mustang GT. Upgraded the rotors a few years back, put on new calipers and steel braided lines going to each caliper on the front. We're using a Hawk Performance brake pad got from Skita. It's the closest I can come with to a semi-metallic brake pad. Is your part number for the front. These brake pads are excellent. You'll notice a big difference after you install them. The stopping power is just fantastic. So we got the car jacked up, got the wheel off, got a jack stand underneath to support the car, and now we're going to start taking it apart. The caliper itself comes off with two it's 12 millimeter bolts on each side over here. You'll see the other one right here. Once those come off, the caliper will pop off. You're going to have to support it against the shock, and then I am going to replace the frame. I have an extra one that I painted. When I replaced the calipers a few years ago, it came with the new mounting frame. So in between brake jobs, I paint it and clean up the grease and everything, and that way when you put it on, it looks nice, seeing it through the tire. But eventually they get all crapped up because of the brake dust. But easy. Once you get that frame off, you can replace the rotor. Just slides right on and off. There's nothing holding it on except the brake pads and the frame. Very easy upgrade. It's worth the time. So I am going to start taking it apart, and I'll let you know as we go what I'm doing. Okay, we're getting the first bolt off the caliper, and what we're having trouble is we're loosening the bolt, and it's turning the pin inside there. So I'm using an adjustable wrench to hold it in place while we take out the bolt, because all that pin is doing is spinning. I'm going to do the same thing to the top. This is the 12 millimeter socket we're using for this. So you can see the little pin in here that's we had to hold in place with the adjustable. We're going to do the same thing up top here. It's kind of hard to see with the camera angle, but I'm going to get the adjustable on there and grab it. Some may not need to do it. Mine are moving for whatever reason. Maybe they're too well greased. But there's no stopping the mounting tube from spinning. Now we're going to take the caliper off, and we're going to hang it. Not really hang it. We're going to kind of support it to the side on top of the shock here. Some guys pry this off with a screwdriver. I don't like to do that. There we go. Support this up here so she doesn't fall on you. Okay, I just want to make sure I don't twist that steel braided line too much. Just want to stop it from falling. You don't want it to put in pressure, but you want access. So here's the old pads coming off. They just slide out. You got to be careful of the orientation of these pads. It's got little nibs on there where they put the backing shim on. The one that is you got it. The little things have to be side specific. Okay, the ones that go on the two cylinders that do the pushing on the pads, the little nibs got to be on the outside, so you got to watch how you mount them there. Kit comes with for left and right, so you got to make sure you get the right get the proper pair on each side. I'm trying to get this thing secured here. All right, I'm gonna secure this and then show you a wider angle picture of it. Okay, we got the caliper secured on top of the shock out of the way. Now, normally in this spot, you don't have to replace the mounting bracket. I'm going to replace it, like I said, because I got one that's painted. Transfer out these pins, grease them up properly, clean up the mounting plates here. At this point, you would just collapse your caliper cylinders all the way. You got to take the top off your master cylinder. Watch your fluid come up as you compress them. I'll show you how we compress them later. And then just make sure it doesn't overflow on the top. So I'm going to remove these brackets, and these come off down here. There's two bolts back here that are 15 millimeters. They come right off. This bracket comes off, and then you can replace your rotor at that point. I already got the top bolt off, the mounting bracket. I loosened it up already. Now I'm taking the bottom one off. And just to take your mounting bracket off, and then we're going to go and change over the pins to the new bracket or the painted bracket, and clean everything up, clean out the mounting plate, and receive the new pads. Okay, there we go. So we got the mounting bracket off. There we go. Okay, as you can see, we got the bracket off, the pads off, and the caliper is tucked out of the way. And at this point, you can change out your rotor. It just pops off. So it's a good, easy upgrade to get the slotted and drilled rotors. And it does make a difference with good performance brake pads. Stopping power is incredible. All right, so we're going to take the bracket to the bench. We're going to change out the little sliders here to go into the painted bracket. Grease them up a bit. This, you can see this not even turning, so we're gonna have to do some, that one's turning fine. But they should be able to slide in and out very easily. All right guys, we got the new mounting bracket here. I got to take off these plates for the brake pads come off. You're gonna have to, it's better to start new. I didn't buy a new set. I'm just gonna clean them up with some sandpaper, grease them up really good. These rubber pins, these rubber covers come out with your pin. These we're gonna clean up a bit. They're gonna slide in the new ones here, and you just gotta grease them up properly. The brake pads come with some grease. So this one is wedged in there, which is not good. We have to work on getting that out. These are rubber booties. They go over the pin. They got to go just over that little mounting ridge, if you want to call it that. There we go. If these are torn, it's a good idea to replace them. These are still in good shape, so I'm going to reuse them. Not sure what happened here, why this froze up. And she is not popping loose. Strange, because when I installed them, they were greased up really well, so I'm not too sure why they froze up like this on me. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and work on that. Once I get it out, I'll show you guys how to grease it up. Alright guys, I got the pin out of the old bracket. I'm not too sure what happened. Maybe I didn't grease it. I doubt I didn't do that. But I cleaned them up with sandpaper. Now they slide in really well. We use the supplied grease from Hawk, and it greases up really well. But it was a mission to get out, but it finally got it out. So these just go down into the hole. I've already cleaned them out when I repainted it. As you can see, I got plenty of grease on there. That's how I would have done it on the previous one. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Anyways, you got to get your rubber booty on there. And that's how it's supposed to look. And it should move freely. The other one was just stuck in place. So I guess it was a good thing I did the pads and changed this out. It's always good to check that. The only other part you got to grease is on the on your brake shoes where they slide on here, and the one that touches the cylinders that do the pushing on the brakes, you want to put a coat on there. They're shimmed from the factory. I always put a coat of grease on the back there just to prevent any kind of possible clacking sound, clanking metal on metal. But the shims usually do the trick. Most of the brake pads come with shims now, and that stops the noise that was common back in the day. And there we go. So as you can see, it's well greased. Spins freely in there. And like I said, I don't know what happened with the last one, but we're good to go now. Okay. Now we're going to clean up the plates. Sandpaper usually does the trick. Like I said, if I would have remembered, I would have bought new ones, but you can basically just sand them up, smooth them out, and this, like I said, this is where the grease goes. But they clean up really good, really easy. And when you get down inside that groove, this is what where your brake pad rest on and move. And these are going to be your grease points in here. All right, I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to stop the video, get them cleaned up really good, and then I'll show you when I install them inside the mounting bracket. All right, as you can see, these cleaned up pretty nice. And basically they just pop into place here. And then, like I said, that's where your brake pads are going to rest in. Where you grease inside here. This is where the pads will move a little bit. But you got to make sure these little nips get on the outside. Pretty simple amount. You just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to go on the car now. Like I said, grease is going to go inside this spot. That spot, and that's where your shoes will rest, will mount. Everything's working good there. All right, we're gonna go put it on the car. Okay, we're gonna mount the bracket back onto the spindle. And it's kind of hard to show you with the correct camera angle, but basically the two bolts go back into place, 15mm bolts. I cleaned them up a bit, so they slide in and out a little better. But basically, this goes over your rotor. I'm going to feed the bolts through. There we go. Just make sure your brackets, your slider, your mounting brackets there stay in place. Okay. Okay, we're going to tighten those up. Some of the videos show you what needs to, your torque specifications, and kind of just go with a pry bar and just tighten up as tight as it'll go. I think it's 85 foot-pounds, but I've never had one come undone. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Now you take your, I use an old brake shoe, brake pad. What I'm going to do is, let's mount the, I'm going to mount the brake pads in there first, grease them properly, get them down. So the part that go on the cylinders to do the pressing, these knobs got to be on the outside. Where the brake pad on the outside of it, the knobs are here. So just go into place. So you're going to put your grease here, and this area in here. Wherever they hit that mounting plate. Gotta be careful not to get it on the brake pad itself. We got to put grease in the outside here. I'm going to mount it first and then put it on by hand so I don't mistakenly get it on my brake pad material. Same thing for this. It's a little tricky putting it in. Just kind of got to finagle it in place. All right, I'm going to grease it. So I have to take it out again. So it's going to be underneath here, on top here, and where it hits that sliding plate. Go. And that is it. Okay. So now, got a little device for pushing the cylinders in. This is where you got to watch your master cylinder. You don't spill out any fluid. So I use an old brake pad. All you want to do is push those in. So you put a little bit of pressure on it. Let's see how easy it is to see it from that angle. Careful, let's pull my brake shoe out. You want those pretty much flush with your caliper. This side is pretty much all the way in. A little more on this side, and we should be good. Okay, that side looks like it's all the way in. Let's see if she fits now. Clean that out. On there properly. Twelve millimeter bolts. Same thing, they're spinning. I'm gonna have to get my adjustable to hold it in place. All right, guys, I'm going to get this buttoned up, and I'll come right back and give you a few more tips. Okay, guys, got everything tightened up. Got the two 12 millimeter bolts here, bolts properly tightened up. Put a adjustable wrench on the flat spots of these on these mounting pins to hold them in place. Got these tightened down. Got the bracket installed. Double check the make sure these bolts were properly torqued, and I got a piece of duct tape up here when I first installed these steel braided lines with the new what do you call them, calipers. I had these mounted at the wrong angle, and I actually had a little rub spot on here, so I had to change the angle of the steel braided line that came out of here, and I put a piece of tape on there. That way, every so often I'll stick my hand in there and make sure there's no rubbing. I'm a little paranoid that it was rubbing. I don't want anything to start rubbing again and eat a hole in my brake line. So I just kind of put there as a safety precaution. But it should be good to go. There's a break-in period for the brakes. You're supposed to go 6 to 10 times, 35 miles an hour down to 5, and then another 6 times going from 45 down to 5. And the Hawk claims you should be good to go after that. Watch the Hawk video. It'll give you more detailed process on how to break in those pads. Make sure they see properly. But it looks good to go. I'm going to check the fluid in the master cylinder, make sure it's topped off, and we should be good to go. As you can see, my master cylinder popped up a little bit, so I'm going to have to take a little fluid out of there and maybe add some once I seat those brake pads. So you just got to do a little drift on the side. That's what you want to try to prevent. So you got to keep an eye on that. All right, got the master cylinder cleaned up a bit, got it down to a more acceptable level. I pressed on the brake pad a couple times. I just used paper towels to clean it up and to lower the level, not a big deal. So we're going to take it for a test drive. We're going to break in those brake pads, come back and check the level. If it's, it should go down a little more once you start working the brakes, so it should be at the ideal level. So we're all set to go. All right, we're going to put the tire back on in case you want to see that. I'm going to pull the jack out, the jack stand. Using a 21mm socket, going to crisscross pattern when you tighten it. They get it pretty snug. They get the tire on the ground. A little bit of pressure on it. Snug it up again. And then lay it, put it all the way down on the ground and do your final tightening. Again, crisscross star pattern. Okay, it's snugged up. And now we're going to put it all the way on the ground and finish the tightening of the lug nuts. Then we take it for its break-in ride. And once that's done, we check the fluid in the master cylinder.